What if I told you? You're not really chasing bodies, pleasure, or late-night fantasies. You're chasing silence, stillness, escape. Picture it. You're alone in your room, the clock ticking past 2 a.m., your phone glowing with temptation. You scroll, you click, you chase that fleeting moment where the world fades, where time dissolves, where no one is watching. You close the tab and yet the ache lingers, not in your body, but in your soul. Here's the paradox. You keep returning to lust, thinking it's the answer, when it's only a symptom. You're not addicted to lust. You're addicted to escape, to not feeling the pain that screams when you're alone, the rejection that stings, the fear that you're not enough. Each time you give in, the shame sinks deeper, whispering you'll never break free. But what if that whisper is wrong? What if beneath every craving is a hidden wound, begging to be heard? This isn't about shame. It's about liberation. Today, we're diving into the shadows of your soul, guided by Carl Jung's wisdom and the raw truth of your own heart. We'll uncover why you run, what you're really craving, and how to stop fighting yourself into exhaustion. This is a journey to face that wound, to listen to its story, and to find freedom, not by escaping, but by stepping into the dark. Stay with me because by the end, you'll see your struggle in a way that changes everything. Carl Jung once said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." Think about that for a moment. What if the urges pulling you toward lust aren't just weaknesses to overcome? What if they're signals from your unconscious, pleading for you to look deeper? Lust isn't just about desire. It's a veil draped over a wound you've been too afraid to touch. It's a distraction from the pain that hums beneath your skin when the world goes quiet. This video is about the truth behind your cravings, not the fleeting thrill of lust, but the deeper addiction to escape. You know the feeling, the knot in your chest when life feels too heavy, the way you reach for your phone or a fantasy to drown it out. Maybe it's the rush of secrecy that makes you feel alive, or the momentary high that numbs the ache of feeling unworthy. Whatever it is, it's not about the act itself, it's about what you're running from. The loneliness that stings, the rejection that lingers, the fear that you're not enough. You've felt this, haven't you? The way your heart races, not with excitement, but with a desperate need to fill the void. This isn't just about lust. It's about the human need to avoid pain, to chase anything that feels like relief. But every time you run, you're only carving the wound deeper. Today, we're going to stop running. We're going to turn and face the shadow, peel back its layers, and find the path to healing. Let's walk this together, step by step, into the heart of what's really driving you. Reveal 1. The illusion of control. Let's start with the first truth. Your addiction to lust isn't about lust, it's about control. Life feels like a storm sometimes, doesn't it? Relationships that fray at the edges, dreams that slip through your fingers, a world that demands more than you can give. And in that chaos, lust becomes a sanctuary. It's a space where you can decide what happens, where you can feel powerful, even if just for a moment. You click, you scroll, you chase. And for those fleeting seconds, you're not the one who's failing, not the one who's lost. You're in charge. But here's the hard truth. That control is a lie. Every time you give in, you're not mastering your desires, you're surrendering to them. Jung called this the shadow, the part of you that holds your unacknowledged pain, your repressed fears, your unspoken truths. Your shadow isn't just the bad parts of you, it's the parts you've refused to see. And when you ignore it, it doesn't vanish. It grows stronger. It whispers to you in the dark, pushing you toward anything that promises relief. That's why the cycle never ends. You chase the high, but the high only deepens the void. Think about the last time you gave in. What were you feeling right before? Maybe it was a fight with someone you love, a day where you felt invisible, or a memory that crept up uninvited. Lust isn't the root, it's the branch. The real force is the pain you're trying to outrun, the shadow you're too afraid to face. And until you turn and look at it, it will keep pulling the strings, making you think you're choosing when you're really just reacting. Reveal 2. The spiritual hunger. Now let's go deeper. There's a spiritual layer to this that we can't ignore. Lust, at its core, is a hunger for connection. Not just with another body, but with something greater. Something that makes you feel whole. You're not just seeking escape, you're seeking transcendence. You want to feel alive, to touch something that drowns out the noise of your doubts. Jung believed that our deepest desires, even the ones we're ashamed of, are often cries from the soul for meaning. In ancient myths, lust was a double-edged sword, a force that could destroy or transform. Think of the Greek god Eros, whose arrows sparked both love and chaos. Your craving is like that, a misdirected longing for something sacred. You're not broken for wanting to feel alive. You're human, but when you channel that longing into fleeting escapes, you're trading the eternal for the temporary. You're reaching for a shadow instead of the light it points to. This is why shame doesn't work. Shaming yourself for your desires only buries them deeper, giving them more power. What if, instead, you saw your cravings as a map to the places in your soul that need healing, that need love, that need connection with something greater, whether you call it God, the universe, or your own inner truth. Your addiction to escape is a spiritual wound, a cry from the part of you that's starving for meaning, and it's asking you to listen, not to run. Reveal 3. The false cure. Here's the third revelation, and it's a tough one. The ways you've tried to fix this aren't working. You've tried willpower, haven't you? You've stood in front of the mirror promising yourself, this is the last time. You've made rules, set boundaries, maybe even turned to religion or self-help books, hoping they'd give you the strength to stop. And maybe they worked for a while, until they didn't. Because the problem isn't a lack of discipline. The problem is that you're fighting the wrong battle. Jung said, what you resist persists. Every time you fight your urges with brute force, you're giving them more power. You're telling yourself that part of you is bad, that it needs to be destroyed. But what if that part of you isn't the enemy? What if it's a wounded child, a scared teenager, a broken adult, begging to be seen? The more you push it away, the louder it screams. The false cure is believing you can outmuscle your shadow. You can't. The real cure isn't about stopping the behavior. It's about understanding why it's there. It's about sitting with the discomfort, the shame, the fear, and asking, what do you need from me? It's about recognizing that your addiction to escape is a survival mechanism, a way your psyche has learned to cope with pain. And once you see it for what it is, you can start to heal it, not by fighting, but by listening, by offering compassion to the parts of you that feel broken. Pause for a moment. I know what's happening inside you right now. There's a tightness in your chest, a heaviness that feels like it could crush you. You're seeing yourself in this. Every late-night scroll, every secret moment, every time you've chased escape only to crash into shame. It hurts, doesn't it? It feels like standing at the edge of a void, staring into a darkness you've spent years avoiding. You're tired, so tired of carrying this weight, of pretending you're fine when you're not. Maybe you're asking yourself, why can't I stop? What's wrong with me? The shame is creeping in, whispering that you're broken, that you're too weak to change. And there's anger too. Anger at yourself for falling again. Anger at the world for making you feel so small. It's overwhelming, like a storm raging inside you, tearing at the seams of who you thought you were. You've tried so hard to be strong, to be better, but the cycle keeps pulling you back. But listen, this moment, this pain, this collapse, it's not a failure. It's a breakthrough. You're feeling this because you're finally looking at it. You're not running right now. You're here, sitting with the truth, letting it wash over you. That takes courage. You're not weak. You're human. You're not broken. You're waking up. This storm inside you? It's not here to destroy you. It's here to show you the parts of yourself that need your love, your attention, your presence. You're not alone in this. You're not the only one who feels this way. And you're not beyond healing. So where do you go from here? You stop fighting. You stop treating your desires like an enemy to be defeated. Instead, you get curious. You ask, what am I running from? Maybe it's a memory of being rejected, of feeling unloved. Maybe it's the fear that you'll never be enough. Whatever it is, it's not bigger than you. It's just a part of you that needs your attention. Jung taught us that the shadow isn't something to destroy. It's something to integrate. Your cravings, your escapes, they're not signs of failure. They're signs of your humanity. They're your soul's way of saying, I'm hurting, and I need you to see me. So reframe this struggle. Instead of a battle, see it as a conversation. Every time the urge to escape arises, it's an invitation to listen to the part of you that's been ignored. This doesn't mean you give in to every impulse. It means you stop shaming yourself for having them. It means you sit with the discomfort and ask, what do I really need right now? Maybe it's rest. Maybe it's connection. Maybe it's forgiveness. For yourself, for others, for the world that made you feel small. This is the path to healing. Not running from the shadow, but walking toward it with compassion. You're not here to fix yourself. You're here to understand yourself. And that understanding is where freedom begins. So how do you start? Begin with presence. Create a daily ritual. 5 minutes, no phone, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. Sit with yourself and ask, what am I feeling? What am I avoiding? Write it down if you can. Let the truth spill out, raw and unfiltered. This isn't about fixing anything. It's about seeing yourself clearly, maybe for the first time. Next, find healthier ways to meet your need for connection. Lust is a hunger for intimacy, so feed it with something real. Call a friend you trust. Join a community where you can be honest. Share your story with someone who won't judge you. You don't have to carry this alone. If you're ready, consider a therapist or a guide who can help you navigate your shadow. They're not there to fix you. They're there to walk with you. Finally, practice self-compassion. When the urge to escape comes, don't fight it. Pause. Breathe. Say to yourself, I see you and I'm here. This is how you build trust with yourself. This is how you heal. Over time, the need to escape will soften, not because you've conquered it, but because you've given your soul what it's been asking for. Your presence, your love, your truth. Start today. One small step. You're worth it. You're not addicted to lust. You're addicted to escape. But you don't have to run anymore. The shadows you've been avoiding, they're not monsters. They're parts of you waiting to be held, waiting to be seen. Every urge, every craving, is a whisper from your soul, begging you to come home to yourself. And that home is closer than you think. It's in the quiet moments, the honest tears, the courage to face what you've buried. This journey isn't easy. It's not a straight line. But it's a path worth walking, because on the other side is a version of you that's free. Not from desire, but from the need to hide from it. You are not your mistakes. You are not your shame. You are a soul, messy and beautiful, learning to love itself in the dark. Take a breath. Feel the ground beneath you. You're still here, still fighting, still growing. If this video spoke to you, leave a comment and share your story. I read everyone. Subscribe if you want to dive deeper into the shadows with me. And if you're ready to take the first step, start today. Sit with yourself. Listen to your heart. It's been waiting for you all along.